Morning, hope you're doing really well. Standing in front of me is an interesting World War II structure, namely Fort Henry, which maybe some of you have maybe dismissed if you've been in the area. It is National Trust owned, but today we're going to talk more about it, so stay with me and I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now. Many times on this channel, I've made the point that smaller sites that you can explore often contain the most amount of history, and no greater example of this is that of Fort Henry. Fort Henry, situated overlooking Studland Bay in Dorset, was the largest and strongest observation post to be built in Britain, and became famous because on the 18th of April 1944 it was used by several VIPs, including King George VI, Prime Minister Winston Churchill and General Eisenhower, who observed a demonstration of carpet bombing followed by assault landings as part of Exercise Smash. The fort itself was built in 1943 by the Canadian Royal Engineers and was named after their home base in Ontario, which dimensions being 90 foot long with walls, floor and ceiling all 3 foot thick, with the recessed observation slit being 80 foot wide. Next to the fort is a 6-pounder gun emplacement which was built earlier in August 1940, and it formed part of the many defences of the bay. As you can see, its line of fire was partially blocked with the construction of the fort 3 years later. Now owned and maintained by the National Trust, it will thankfully have a legacy and become a reminder of playing a significant part of the preparations for the D-Day landings, and a place that I would thoroughly recommend for any explorer and history lover. Hello, so welcome to Fort Henry, and you know, like, it's one of these strange places that it's a World War II and it's in a harsh environment, and yet when you look out, it's one of the most beautiful coastlines you can probably see, where there is a contrast of heavily World War II sort of like structure based on this gorgeous coastline, and it is simply beautiful. I couldn't have picked a better day today, to be honest. There's one of the ferries going out. It's just gorgeous. So there's the best thing about this is, obviously, as you saw in your history lesson, but there are a lot of plaques here that are information boards. So even if you never saw my video properly and you came down here, you get a really good idea of what it would be like to sort of like look at this, and it's just lovely. So we're gonna go in. Oh. And this is it. Looking out on the slit observation. Isn't that just amazing? Obviously the tide's in at the moment, and there's a few World War II structures around here, Dragons, Thieves, a couple of pillboxes as well. But this is Fort Henry. It's amazing observation deck, knowing that Winston Churchill was here. It's crazy, it really is. Sorry about that. So as you can see, we sort of had to walk around and in. I mean, it's extremely thick concrete. So for an observation post, it's not unlike things we've seen in the past when it comes to World War II. But like I said, it's just for the fact of its location, where it's situated. I mean, I know that once I've sort of talked to you and walked around, I'm going to sort of have a really nice time here. In fact, I sort of allocated myself when I was exploring today some time at this beach because it's just gorgeous, and just to chill out. And on such an amazingly beautiful day, I honestly couldn't have picked a better day for it, which really is great because it gives you that sort of like clear view out onto the sea to really give you a perspective of really what this observation post was like, really. And it's still quite early in the morning, so there's not that many people around. Oh, as we walk around again. So you can see how long this actual observation deck is. We'll walk out as well and you can get a proper sort of perspective of it. But it's just this amazing room. It's incredible, really. I mean, I've wanted to do this for a while. I've really sort of insisted on myself, sort of saying that I really wanted to sort of check this place out because it's World War II history, but it's World War II history that you don't normally sort of come across. And this has got a very specific piece of history attached to it, which makes it even more special. But we're not. It just entices you to go out there, which obviously I know I am after. I'm actually really excited. I'm thinking, right, film this, Dan, and you can have a really nice time just sort of enjoying yourself. I can walk down to the beach, which is what I'm planning on doing. Although I will say this. Now, some people sometimes criticise the price of parking. Now, this is National Trust and it's not the cheapest if you're not a member. Now, I'm not a member, so it's a little bit more expensive. However, because I don't go to National Trust properties on a regular basis, I suppose it sort of justifies it. But I'm just throwing it out there to all of you because I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying to you, if you come down here, expect that the parking might be a little bit more expensive than you're normally used to. Maybe for some of you, who knows? Or it might be about right, depending. Like I said, that is not a complaint at all. It's just a fact of you're better off being a National Trust member, taking advantage of all these sites. Something that I keep debating maybe I should do more often. But obviously, the difference with that is that I'm a little bit of more of a sort of the explores that I do don't necessarily sometimes constitute under what National Trust properties are. This actually sort of constitutes as a rarity for me on this channel to do a National Trust property that I will film for this channel. So you can understand that. But look at this. Isn't that amazing? The thing is, you normally see these types of really heavily enforced sort of observation structures normally on Calais or normally on the sort of like normally in France or even Germany. So actually the design of this, the structure of this is actually quite sort of interesting really, because you don't normally associate this type of style and design with what we normally see. We've seen observation posts before and they're of all different designs, but they're never proper bunker sort of like thick concrete. Does that make sense to you all? That is what we call a hardcore observation post. There's also a memorial here. It says, to the 4th/7th Royal Dragoon Guards, remembering those who lost their lives during exercise Smash 1 in Duplex Drive Amphibious Valentine tanks, Studland Bay, 4th of April 1944. There you go. Poignancy. I mean, it's sad really that those men, for example, never even got a look in. to go to war. Not that they probably ever wanted to, but it's sad, isn't it, when you sort of look at it from that perspective. But here we are. What I might do is, you can sort of see it from the outside. I might walk through and then come back out again. Let's do that, I reckon. So what we've got to sort of figure out is when we're here is that it's divided into three observation sections. So you've got one there that we just walk through, this one here, which is the central one, and then it should be one more after that, just so we can raise a point of that, just for all of you. Like I said, it's not the most spectacular World War II structure you're ever going to see, but it plays an important role. More importantly, when you look out onto that beach, you know that this was actually even more important. That beach looks amazing. I need to go down there, which I will do. There you go. So this is our third and final section. But let me take you around. You get to see the two entrances at the back here, which would be the steps that lead down. And on any other given day, you'd be sort of curious as to sort of wanting to go in there. However, for me today, we don't have to worry about that too much because there's not really that much in there. But if I take you around, you can see that the gates are actually, well, they're gated off. And you can see somebody has tried to wiggle that as best as possible and do a really sort of sturdy job of trying to get in. And then the same on this side as well. So yeah, no chance of us getting in there today. But as I always say, you know, sometimes it's probably best that it's left like that because it sort of just doesn't sort of give people a chance to trash it even more than it probably is. And some people could probably argue the fact, well, it's pretty much trashed in there already, and you can sort of see that from, I didn't bring a torch, but you can sort of see it roughly in there. It's pretty rubbish. But yeah, very, very interesting. Hope you enjoyed it, and in the immortal words of Phoenix History, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to spread the word of the channel. Much love to all of you out there, and I'll see you all very soon because history matters. Take care. Ready? Kapow. Whew.